Hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? It's kind of number two video tonight. So this is a maybe different train of thought, I suppose. Well, okay. Yeah, my brain is just going to be allowed to wander. Should be allowed to wander. Um, I'll talk about the nicer subject first, and then the weirder, more in depth one after that. Um, so I'm going to probably go shopping, grocery shopping again, probably. Um, Definitely by Tuesday. I think Monday is iffy. Definitely Tuesday. I'm just gonna get some things that I need to get. That I'm getting a little bit low on, but it won't be a big one. It'll be a cheaper grocery shopping trip. Um, I have a lot of fruit, and I have a fair bit of I have a lot of beef, and I just need chicken and vegetables and things, a few other things like that. Some nuts and stuff. So, but talking about, I mentioned food prices in my last video, how they're the thing is that as frustrating as it can be, it's gas prices that to me are a lot more outrageous. I'm commonly spending between 65 to 70 bucks to fill up my tank, right in that ballpark. Um, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and I'm driving a lot. Um, Personally, I think that there needs to be more of a tax break for driving to students' homes. Me to much higher percentage of what I get back. But that's just there's a lot of I'm spending a lot of time and a lot of money driving to students' homes, and also people are probably less likely to want to drive. I mean, but it's the interesting thing is that you have still a lot of traffic around the area, Seattle, Tacoma. I mean, at least in where I live, it's still pretty bad. So people are still driving, but everybody's forking over more money to fill up their tanks. And that where does that money come from? Well, it's not from raised people aren't getting paid more necessarily unless they're this is a it's going to be it's been an issue recently. It's going to be more of an issue. Gas prices must come down. They're at $5. I mean, you're lucky if you can find it for five. It's often a little bit more than five. And not all that long ago, it was four something, or low fours. It's five now. Um, and you know, I've mentioned many videos before. Um, the kinds of foods that are cheaper versus more foods that are costlier. What I think I want to mention on this arena is that if if you eat healthy, fresh vegetables and combine that with um, some beans and seeds and eggs and chicken, and then the other stuff that you like, that of course, a little bit of fruit and other healthy foods that are maybe a little bit pricier. But if you have a lot of if you're making sure to buy cheaper food along with the middling food that's middling prices and sometimes the expensive stuff, you'll be okay. You won't totally break the bank. But I think that people, a lot of, I mean, I'm just noticing that I don't like to eat out as much. Um, Even sometimes I feel like I kind of almost have to, but if let's bring up like a sack lunch or something like that. But it's a lot of places that used to be pretty reasonable food prices wise are now. increasingly less so. Um, and so you're going to have, I think, a lot of business. I'm curious as to, I'm wondering if people are going to go to restaurants less. I'm wondering if the prices of food in restaurants, because it's like you pay the increased prices of food plus, a tip for your waiter or whatever. I was just wondering if just everything is going up. And anyway, thank goodness for those places that seem to still have really reasonable prices. I mean, I just applaud and would fully support any business that tries to keep their prices from going too high. Um, yeah, absolutely. Like, absolutely. It's a no-brainer. I mean, but why would I? The other thing is too is why would I go to a restaurant that I've been to many times before and know their menu in and out, inside and outside? I think there are situations where I have to just do something different than I've done before. Um, but it probably will have to mean, to whatever extent I'm eating out, it'll probably mean eating out less, even less than I've been doing, which I don't really eat out all that often. It's often, again, Saturdays when I'm at Bothell school music, and or yeah, also Mondays a little bit too. It's like when I have like a really full day of teaching, and not teaching here. I'm driving around, so um, so okay, what was my crazier? Oh well, yeah. Before I get to that crazy train of thought, if you guys have any thoughts, I haven't really got a lot of comments recently. In general, just a few from here and there. So give me thoughts. Thoughts are very welcome. But by the way, the only kind of meat that I've been buying, and again, when I go grocery shopping, I'll get something a little different. But the only kind of meats I've been buying, I haven't really been buying any steaks. Steaks I've kind of stopped buying, and it's just ground beef and like sausages. Like pork is doable. It's Those are the only kinds of red meats that I would probably even want to buy, to be honest. Um, Steak is great, but it's so easily overcooked, especially if it's grass fed steak. And an overcooked grass fed steak is just it's a tragedy. But it's easy to do that, really easy. It's a similar deal with fish, and it's just like meat simply must be moist. It must it must be moist. You have to moisturize it, or you have to keep it moist. It just loses all of its, you know, nobody wants to eat hockey pucks. Anyway, ground beef is very forgiving that way. It has, and you have to cook it pretty thoroughly, sure, of course, but ground beef is often very fatty, or if you combine it with a little bit of oil. Like one of my favorite things to make more recently is combining ground beef, egg, and onion. That's a great combination. And then maybe you want to put in a little spinach or whatever. That's great too. Whatever. Or I guess one of my roommates likes rice a lot, so or potato or whatever. But anyway, so but yeah, I just the value of a beef steak. Well, I mean, I cannot see if beef prices rise to ridiculous amounts, nobody's gonna buy it. I might as well just, I don't know. So I'm watching this video made by a woman. I'm guessing she's British, but I'm not sure. Very mild British accent. I don't know, about psychedelic something or other. And I haven't really thought as much about good versus evil spirits in a extended period of time for a little while. And actually, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I haven't even played any more in-depth fantasy video games for quite some time, and I just probably will do less of that. I don't know. Only play the very best games that they're really worth playing, kind of thing. but it's you know, just, yeah. But what I'm curious about the psychedelic thing. So I don't, no, I'm not gonna do CBD, and I'm not gonna do the mushroom stuff. So maybe it's not quite my avenue of thought. It's not so much that stuff, but it's more um, what actually is happening. I guess it's just more what's actually happening um, spiritually and emotionally to us when we. I'm still been mulling over things like the meanings of dreams and stuff, but also there's still a lot of things that I'm very curious about in that whole unseen kind of realm. And one of the things that still intrigues me is kind of the whole aspect of um, seeing good or evil in someone's eyes, because eyes are like the window to the soul. Um, and how do we perceive that somebody is a better or worse person? And we often get it wrong, of course, because it sounds very judgmental to think that way. But a lot of people don't think in terms of good and evil. We all we're often inclined to see other things in people. But it's really easy to mistake certain intense feelings like fear, anger, or other things like that. Those when someone's feeling something very intensely, we can say that oh, that's evil, right? Or other feelings are good feelings, but that's not quite the same thing as someone's actual real character. Um, and I would like to see more discussions about this on YouTube, but more especially, I would like to see more discussions about this with. It's kind of like one of the most glaring things, I guess you could say, that um, well, you can tell how mature, how intelligent and mature somebody is based on how they talk about this topic, for instance. And um, there's kind of two parts to that whole intelligent, mature thing. There's actually how insightful, um, well, no, I'm talking about. Let me back up. There's not just two parts, but there's kind of how intuitive or insightful someone naturally is regarding other people and perceptive, that sort of thing. Then there's just their overall maturity. How much experience have they had in life? Who have they known to compare to these people that they are observing? And then of course you have so the first one is kind of like your natural intuition. Second one is life experience. The third one is um, um, I would say probably something like um, character, how character plays into your perception of other people, moral character. But if there's a fourth one, even that would have to do with other kinds of intelligence that influence, I think, how we perceive people morally. Um, maybe it's those, I don't know, but I feel like there's, I know it's the great unknown. It's all these things that are very mysterious. Like when we have certain recurring ideas and dreams are very troubling, or we're trying to remember something that's very significant. We remember colors, remember certain things that very meaningful to us, but we're trying to understand what they mean. Um, I love that stuff, but I think that it's interesting though that CBD and some mushrooms and things like that apparently can get you more in touch with your inner soul, inner mind. I've always thought that's very intriguing, but when you're talking about chemicals that do that, it's just we still know so little about this stuff. And the one thing that we don't want to do is we don't want chemicals messing up our brains to, just make it so that we won't be able to have a great life so much. Um, you don't want weird stuff in your brain. That's all. You don't want things messing with you or um, your mind when you're not doing anything at all. When you're just minding your own business, you're not doing any CBD, not doing any mushrooms, whatever. and you want to be able to be very alert and coherent. Um, so yeah, there are definitely negative things still with marijuana that are still very real. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Might make another one. Might say that some stuff till tomorrow. You guys take care. I'll catch you later. Take care. Bye.